Hi, welcome back to Spring CS170. We're going to continue on with Excel sheets. We're on to formulas right now. So writing formula, you can see something like this, B6 times C6, let's say, right? So B6 is right here. Take the B and then go down to the 6, you have that. And then times C6, which is C times 6. And that will give you this price here. Okay, so let me just do a couple of things here quickly. So we'll say price times quantity total. So let's say this is 32, 43 times 2. So the way we would do the formula is I would put an equal here, then that cell, and then I would hit times 1. And you see I got 32, right? And you can look right up here what my formula looks like, equals D7 times E7, right? And oops, I didn't want to do that. So I'm here. Notice this little, I guess it's like a little dot or something. You can drag this down like this. And you see what just happened there? I basically dragged that formula down for the other two cells here. Okay, and you can even see it still here. If I wanted to drag it all the way down, if I had all kinds of price and quantities over here, right? But I only did 2 of them, so obviously it did that. So let's take a look at what that means. When I look here, you can see automatically it became D8 times E8, right? So whatever I had here on these cells here, I used to calculate this. And then by me taking this formula down to these other cells, it automatically knew to adjust to these other ones here. Okay, you can see 7 to 8 to 9, right? So that's actually a really useful thing for Excel to be able to take formulas and it automatically adjusts the formulas based on the cell references like this. Okay, and we'll do more on this later on because this becomes an important thing when you look at absolute and relative cell reference for Excel. Okay, so I can repeat the formula like the copy and paste. I can do the fill, which is what I just did there. Like by dragging this down, that was like a fill, and you can just adjust the formula. You can see like your basic math stuff, right? So you can take a cell, you can subtract from it, you can add all kinds of stuff, right? Let's see what happens if I did a copy and paste. So first I'm going to do this. I'm going to clear this out. You want to do this. Okay, so it says clear contents here. You don't want to go in here and just type a space in here, right? Visually, it looks like it blanked out the cell to you, but in reality, blank is a character. So if you want to clear something out, you really want to do something like clear contents. Okay, and I can show you how that might mess you up later on. But let's do a copy and paste. So you can use the keyboard shortcut, which would be a Control-C, but here I'm just doing a right mouse click. So you do a copy. And again, I highlight those 2 cells I want to go to, and then I want to paste it. And remember what I said in the last video, you can just paste it straight up, which will just copy those formulas down. Or you can just paste a value, which would just paste 32 all the way down, right? And sometimes you don't want to take the formula down for whatever reason, okay? So there's all these different options here, okay? Usually I'm using these first 2 here, where you would just copy the formula down or you would just copy the value down. Okay, so in this case, let's copy the formula down. And you can see it did exactly what I did before in terms of using the fill. So it automatically adjusted to D8, E8, and D9, E9. Okay. So another interesting thing is you can do a control tilde, right? Control tilde like this, and this will show all your formulas. So not a big deal here. There's only a few formulas, but if you do it like there's a whole bunch of different like numbers or formulas or whatever, it gets pretty confusing for you to click through all of them to see what the formulas are, right? So I could click this and I can see all the formulas up here. But if you have a whole bunch of them and you want to see all of them, you don't want to click on all of these. So that's where control tilde comes into play. So you do like a control and tilde up here, and you see what happens. You can show all your formulas like that. Okay, and then I just revert it back by hitting control tilde again. Okay. All right, so here's where we go to absolute and relative, right? So everything that we've been doing now is relative, right? So it's what they call relative reference, right? Now, if you want to make it fixed or absolute, this is where you start sticking dollars in here, right? So pay attention to this part right here, okay? So F2, that means it's all relative, right? That's exactly what I had here, right? You see D7, E7, that's all relative, right? That means when I copy and paste it down, it automatically adjusted, you know, based on the situation. In this case, I was just dragging the formulas down, right? But let's say you want to override that behavior. You don't want Excel to move those things around when you copy and paste a formula. That's where you get into these relative reference. And so when might you use it? Let's say I had a constant factor here. Let's say, I don't know, I want to multiply everything by like 40 for some reason, okay? So let's say I did this and I did it times here, and then I did 40. Okay. Now you can see what happened here is I got this formula like before, but now I have the B4, which is over here. If I drag this down, well, that's not good, right? Because I did B5 and B6, which is not what you wanted, okay? So let's say I wanted to keep everything fixed. Then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna make this this. You see what I did there? I had a $B and a $4 now. That basically locks me into this. So when I do my copy and paste, it's not going to change it. You see what happened here? The $B, $4 stayed the same when I copy the formulas down, right? So this is the distinction between absolute and relative reference. So I hope that looks clear to you. And these other slides here basically just go into more of that, right? Basically what I just demonstrated there, okay? This is the key point here. The formula that is referencing that based on whether it's relative or absolute reference is going to have a behavior difference, which is what I just demonstrated, okay? So make sure you pay attention to that. That's pretty important. So here you have this, and you can see what happened here, right? Same thing like what I just demonstrated, right? You went F2 and it goes F3 to F7 all the way down, right? And in this case, that's the behavior that you want. But now you want something to be fixed, which is what I wanted with this B4 over here, right? I want that to be fixed. I don't want that to move around. That's why I put in these dollar signs here to fix it, okay? All right, so hopefully that's a concept that you understand. And if there's any questions, just let me know. I'm going to stop this here and we'll continue on soon, okay?